Tuesday, July 9th, 2024. Peace is a part of the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this afternoon, Governor Fubara rejects claims of ingratitude, frowns at police handling of attempted bomb explosion. Court stops Rivers Chief Judge from engaging with Martin Amehule-led assembly. NMPC directs fuel stations to extend operating hours. In other foreign scene, U.S. President vows to strengthen Ukraine's defense system. I'm Ifichuku Moyole with the news.
Express yourself right here on Nigeria Info. Nigeria Info. From the economic capital of West Africa.
Now we begin the news this afternoon with Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara saying the solidarity visit of Ogbako Ikwere ethnic nationality worldwide is evidence that the political crisis in the state is not ethnic-based. Governor Fubara said this when the Ogbako Ikwere ethnic nationality worldwide visited him yesterday.
But today is not a day to complain. It's a day to appreciate. It's a day that just spelled out something big. That even those people that are generating this propaganda of ethnic politics, today the Ikwere people are here. So support that they are part of this government. They support this government. What kind of support again do I need? When your own father is here with me.
The governor also dismissed the notion that he is an ingrate.
Fubara is not an ungrateful person. If I were a bad person for 16 years, if I was a bad person, everybody would have known. But even your own child, let us start with the girl child. You get to a stage, your girl child will enter the bathroom and lock the door. Even if they forcefully put the button on my mouth, if I get filled up, won't I pull it out? I want you all to ask them in your own good conscience, what is that bad, that wickedness, that ungratefulness that this man has not shown upon us?
The governor spoke on the attitude of the police since the attempted bomb explosion near the presidential hotel in Port Harcourt a few weeks ago. The governor said this when he swore in the new commissioner for finance, Emmanuel Frank Fubara, who was screened and confirmed by the Victor Okojumbo-led state lawmakers.
If it were a situation that Fubara is involved in anything or Fubara's associate, by now Nigeria will be hot. There will be arrest, there will be statements, there will be counter this, there will be press conference. But because it is from the other side, but glory to God that they couldn't hide it. I've not been hearing anything. And I'm wondering, after how many weeks now, the Nigerian police is still not able to come out and make a statement about the attempt that tried to detonate dynamite in front of the president. But if it's any other thing that has to do with us, in fact, right now they should have even charged the person for terrorism.
On the reason why he recognizes the Victor Okojumbo-led Rivers State House of Assembly, Governor Fubara said it is the lawfully constituted assembly.
You can see how excited I am. And to crown it, we're here to prove to the world, it's not propaganda, that I am dealing with the recognized Rivers State House of Assembly by law.
But yesterday, the Martin Amehule-led assembly held a sitting at the State Assembly official quarters along Aba Road, Port Harcourt. The House leader, Major Jack, displayed copies of last week's appeal court judgment and that of Justice Omotosho, which ruled in their favor in January, recognizing Mr. Amehule as Speaker. They issued a 7-day ultimatum to Governor Fubara to present the 2024 budget to them. Mr. Amehule read a letter that they planned to send to the governor. In the letter dated July 8, they said, the government is barred from spending funds from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the state. They accused the governor of breaching some section of the 1999 Constitution and the Rivers State Local Government Amendment Law 2023, among others. They said the governor's dealings with and recognition of the assembly made up of the said suspended lawmakers constitute gross misconduct and abuse of office. Their sitting followed last Wednesday's ruling of the Court of Appeal, which dismissed a state high court ruling that sacked them as members of the Rivers State House of Assembly. Now recall that Mr. Amehule and 25 others defected from the PDP to the APC on December 11, 2023, citing division in the PDP as a reason. but the PDP says there is no division. 3 different cases are in court seeking the court to interpret Section 109 subsection G of the Constitution, which states that lawmakers lose their seats when they defect. No court has ruled on their status so far. One of the cases is due to be heard on July 17. However, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, faulted the sitting of the Martin Amihule-led group. Mr. Falana spoke to our correspondent.
You can see how excited I am. And to crown it, we're here to prove to the world, it's not propaganda, that I am dealing with the recognized Rivers State House of Assembly by law.
Also, a constitutional lawyer, Richard Nwokocha, says Justice Omotosho's ruling, which the Martin Amehule relied on to sit, was in favor of the legislature over the executive arm of the River State government, not any individual. Professor Nwokocha made this comment while reacting to the session held by Martin Amehule-led House of Assembly. Professor Nwokocha, who is also a professor of law at River State University, tells correspondent Chioma Ezenwafo that Martin Amehule-led House of Assembly approached the court while they were still, by law, members of the House of Assembly. But the judgment was delivered after they had voluntarily vacated their seats.
Consistently, the media has used the expression which they have used anyway, quoting what they use in suits. Martin Amehule-led assembly, AEADC-led assembly, and now you have Okojombo-led assembly. There is nothing like somebody-led assembly. There is a River State House of Assembly. And any judgment such as that judgment which said executive do not withhold the money of the assembly, do not disturb the sitting of the assembly, not disturb this and do not disturb that, are made in favor of the River State House of Assembly.
He also emphasized that the issue of vacating seat is a legislative matter, not a judiciary one, and should follow the legislative process as outlined in the Constitution. Professor Nwokocha further said the speaker who defected is no longer legitimately a speaker, stating that the Speaker of the House of Assembly is an office, not an individual.
According to Section 109, those who vacate have no business being in the house anymore. It is the rest who are to meet, take cognizance of that fact, and do what is to be done, which is give effect to subsection 1. So the speaker is not an individual. Oh, the court recognized me as the speaker. Does not change the fact that you are legitimately no longer a speaker if you have taken a walk from the house. If the gentleman dies naturally, will you say that the Rivers House of Assembly will continue to move to where his grave is whenever they want to sit, because he must continue because a court recognizes the Amehule-led House of Assembly?
Professor Nwokocha added that Martin Amehule-led House of Assembly, who were the defendants in a suit filed by Edison Ehe, withdrew their contention following an issue that transpired outside the court. However, the court granted their prayers without assessing whether they were still members of the House of Assembly.
Recall, as I said earlier, that the defendant, following something that happened outside the court, went and withdrew in implementation of what happened outside the court, went and withdrew their contention, which I'm sure would have contained this fact that these gentlemen who commenced this suit are no longer members of the House of Assembly. So all of that was not before the court, did not come before the court. The court did not evaluate whether or not they are still members. They just went and granted their prayers as prayed after the other party withdrew his defense.
In the meantime, a state high court in Port Harcourt has issued an order of interim injunction restraining the Chief Judge of River State, Justice Simeon Amadi, from dealing with Martin Amehule and 24 others as members of the River State House of Assembly pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice. The court document cited by our correspondent shows the presiding judge, Justice Jumbo Stephen, also directed parties in the suit to maintain the status quo as of July 5, 2024, pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice for interlocutory injunction already filed. The suit was filed by the Attorney General of River State and the Governor of River State. The matter was adjourned to July 25, 2024. Now, still to come, NNPC directs fuel stations to extend operating hours. Stay with us.
Democracy is the freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. Nigeria Info opens the mic. This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The Rivers State Police Command says it has arrested some officers for extortion and other unprofessional conduct. Public Relations Officer of the command, Grace Iringekoko, said that the arrests were made by an intelligence team set up by the Commissioner of Police Olatunji Disu following numerous public complaints about the behavior of some officers. SP Iringekoko urged the public to visit the command headquarters to identify the arrested officers. Recall that in February 2024, the Rivers State Police Command announced the dismissal of one Inspector Michael Ode over his involvement in a $3,000 extortion case. Ode, alongside two Assistant Superintendents of Police, Dalbara Edonyabo and Talent Mungo, were accused of kidnapping and extortion of two men. And now straight to business. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited says fuel stations are to operate longer hours to supply and distribute petrol. The Executive Vice President Downstream NNPCL, Dabo Shegu, said on Monday that the turnaround period of premium motor spirit trucking is also elongated to ease the situation being witnessed. In entertainment, singer Shatawale says he is very disappointed after his mother accused him of neglecting her for the past 10 years. Recall that his mother had disclosed in an emotional video that she had neither seen nor spoken to her famous son for the past decade. In sports, Arsenal and Manchester United are ready to compete for the signing of England defender Mark Guehi, with the 23-year-old set to reject Crystal Palace's new contract offer.
Reach out, be informed, stay connected to the world, and go for the original story. Go for Nigeria Info.
We bring you news from around the world.
U.S. President Joe Biden has condemned a wave of Russian missile strikes that killed at least 38 people in Ukraine as a horrific reminder of Russia's brutality. President Biden also vowed to strengthen Ukraine's air defense system. At least 190 people were injured across the country, including some at a children's hospital in the capital, Kyiv, yesterday.
This is the news on...
That's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has rejected claims of ingratitude and frowned at police handling of attempted bomb explosion in Port Harcourt. High Court in Port Harcourt has stopped Rivers Chief Judge from engaging with Martin Amehule-led assembly. The NNPC has directed fuel stations to extend operating hours to supply and distribute petrol. And on the foreign scene, U.S. President has vowed to strengthen Ukraine's air defense system after Russia missiles attack killed schools, including children. The news was edited by Onyeka Chimusu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Monyele. Many thanks for listening.